Hello, Goddess. Welcome back to the Habits of a Goddess podcast, a podcast filled with self love, self care, and spiritual affirmations. My mission for whoever is listening to this podcast is that you find ways to empower yourself, attract the life you desire, and feel supported on this self love journey. I have experienced a new way of opening up to the endless possibilities of healing and growing through sharing my voice. I'm your host, Jasmine Rasco, and today's episode, we will be talking about self-care is an act of embracing your feminine energy. Also, if you're enjoying the podcast, don't forget to give Habits of a Goddess podcast a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. I love reading reviews you guys leave. It means the world to me to see how truly the podcast has made a positive impact in your life. And when you leave a review, it helps other goddesses discover the podcast too. So how often do we hear about the importance of self-care? Self-care is so much more than bubble baths, skincare routine, taking a nap in the middle of the day. There's so much more to self-care than just those. Those are great to do, and I do those things for myself too. I love soaking and taking a nice bubble bath. I love lighting a candle. I love taking a nap in the middle of the day. Like, those are great, but self-care is so much more than just that. And I want to talk about how not just pampering yourself is a way to reclaim your power, nurturing your feminine energy, but showing up in the world as your most authentic self is self-care. So let's talk about it. There's this misconception that being feminine is weak, or it's the only thing that's like being gentle, graceful, or soft. We've heard these terms, soft girl life, and the truth is, femininity is power. Feminine energy is about creation. Feminine energy is about your intuition, listening and leaning into your intuition. Feminine energy is being in tune with your emotional side and understanding your emotions and how to work with your emotions. Feminine energy is so much more. And the way we take care of ourselves, the way we nurture ourselves is all of those qualities. So when you make self-care a priority, it's not a selfish act. Self-care is an act of self-respect and empowerment. You're giving yourself permission to exist fully in your body. You're giving yourself permission to honor your needs as a goddess and to create a space for your emotions, to create a sacred space for your intuition and your well-being. And when we do this, we step into our goddess power, the kind that doesn't require proving ourselves to anyone, but simply being authentic and unapologetically ourselves. Simply just existing as a goddess. Simply just living in your feminine energy. So I'm going to share some ways that you can practice embracing more of your feminine energy through self-care. With number 1 is setting boundaries. Setting boundaries is one of the most empowering things that you can do for yourself. It's one of the most empowering self-care acts. And yes, setting boundaries is essential for everyone, but for women, we often socialize to be people pleasers. It's so easy to give, and sacrifice our own personal needs, sacrifice our emotions, put ourselves on the back burner. It's so easy to fall into that. And if you feel guilty for saying no or putting your needs first, there's that whole thing too that you live with. But here's the thing, setting boundaries isn't just a way to protect your time and energy. It's a way to protect your emotional health and well-being. And that's what self-care is about. Protecting your energy, protecting things that is draining you. So if you feel like anything or any person is draining you, you have to set boundaries. You have to learn to say no when something drains you or isn't aligned with your values, or you're making space that is taken away from you. So you're creating space for others, but you're not creating space for yourself. You're not learning to pour into your own cup first. So empower yourself first. Take care of your own needs first. Tell yourself yes first before you tell the world yes. Respect and honor your own boundaries before you let other people come into your own energy and experience you. Experience your own energy first. Give and pour into you first. It's a way to say to the world, I know my worth as a goddess and I honor it. And I have boundaries. You don't have to verbally communicate your boundaries to others, but energetically, you're going to communicate. So start small. Say no to a commitment that you're not excited about, or set a boundary with someone who oversteps. And you'll be amazed how freeing it feels. If someone invites you out and you don't really feel excited to go to an event, it's okay to say no. If a guy asks you out on a date and you're really not feeling this guy, it's okay to say no, thank you. It's okay to not pursue further more in engaging with this person. It's okay. You don't have to come up with a million excuses. No is a complete sentence. So honor yourself. Don't overbend for others. Take care and nurture yourself, goddess. So set those boundaries. Those boundaries are to protect you and to serve you at your highest. And when you bend over backwards for others, you're giving people permission to step over you. And we are not that. We are divine goddesses. And we take care and prioritize our own needs first. So take that as a sign that you are top priority. Other people can wait. If it's not a confident 110% yes, then it's a no. So check in with yourself. How does it feel with you? And if you're not feeling any situation, any opportunity that comes to you, you can get a million opportunities a day. But if it's not something that aligns with your value, learn to say no. Number 2 is to listen to your body. And this plays a little bit into what I talked about. Another key piece of self-care is just listening to our own intuition, listening to our bodies. Like, our bodies are constantly communicating to us. But in the hustle of daily life, if you're on the go, you're always busy, you tend to ignore the signs that are there. Whether it's feeling fatigue, overwhelmed, or emotionally drained. If you are emotionally drained and you feel fatigue, those are signs. Those are signs for you to slow down, for you to rest. How can you give to others when you are fatigued? How can you show up as your higher self, as a goddess, when you are overwhelmed? How can you be an emotional supportive person when you are emotionally drained? How can you? So listen to your body. And when you turn into your own wisdom, your own intuition, that can guide you to make better, healthy decisions for yourself. Your feminine energy is connected to the nature of life, especially our menstrual cycles, like the moon cycles, the flow of our emotions. When we honor our natural rhythm, we are aligning ourselves with a deeper source of strength. So pay attention to your natural cycle. If your body is telling you you need to rest, take it. If you're feeling anxious, try grounding exercises or breathing, mindful breathing. Self-care isn't just about treating your body as a machine and working out in the gym and, having the best body. Like, that's great too, but it's also about honoring your sacred vessel, your energy, your life force. Pour into you every single day. Pour into yourself. So listen to your body, goddess. Those signs are there in your body, and it tends to show up. A lot of times it can show up on your face too. Look at your skin. Do you notice if your skin is glowing, if it's clear? I get asked all the time, my skincare regimen. What are the products I use for my skincare? And I share them with you guys. Whenever I go live and I do my get ready with me videos, I love sharing my skincare routine or some of my favorite makeup products. All of that is great, but none of that matters. You can have the most expensive makeup. You can have the most expensive skincare. None of that matters if you aren't taking care of yourself. If you're overwhelmed, you're anxious, you're overstimulated, you're fatigued, An under eye mask, an under eye patch is not going to solve that problem. Makeup concealer is not going to solve that problem. Those signs are going to show up visibly on your skin. So you radiate and shine different when you listen to your body, you take care of yourself, you nurture your body, you get the proper sunlight, you eat the right foods, you say no to drama. You say no to people who are draining you emotionally, and you start listening to your own intuition. And you will thrive. You will thrive. So self-care is about listening to your body too. And number 3, cultivate emotional health. Self-care also involves tending to our emotional health. Emotions are part of our feminine power. So keep your emotions in tune. We are taught that emotions can be overwhelming or too much at times, but in reality, they are signals that are guiding us on our life path. Your emotions is guiding you on this journey. So self-care in this context might look like journaling. When you are feeling emotional, take the time to journal or speak to a therapist, or even just sit quietly and allow yourself to feel whatever in the present moment. I love this. I love sitting quietly in the present moment with myself. I am my greatest best friend. And I will sit with myself and I will go through whatever emotions I'm feeling for the day, in the moment, in the present moment. And if I need to just have some time to myself, I will take time to myself. Or if I feel like I need to take a moment and just journal my thoughts, I will do that. Or if I need to schedule a phone call with a therapist on BetterHelp, I will do that. I have access to a therapist with BetterHelp. And you can too. BetterHelp is a great source tool of finding a therapist, an online therapist. You have access to thousands of therapists, and you can choose and create whichever therapist will work and cater towards your needs. So check in with yourself. How are you feeling? It's okay to be angry. It's okay to feel joy. It's okay to be sad. But what's more important is not to suppress those emotions, but give yourself permission to process them and release them in a healthy way. And the way that I process my emotions, it looks different for whatever scenario that I'm feeling. Me processing my emotions one day could be me journaling them, how I'm feeling. Me processing my emotions could be me crying in the shower. I could have a good cry in the shower. Me processing my emotions could be a nice walk on the beach. I love that. I love that. Or it could be calling a therapist and talking about how I'm feeling, whatever I'm working on and going through, whatever emotions I'm feeling. So check in with yourself. Do not suppress your emotions. Your emotions are there to speak and communicate and guide you on what areas in your life that you should be working on. So find a healthy way to process and release them. This podcast could be one of those many tools of processing and releasing your emotions. Maybe this very episode is helping you process and release your emotions. So find a healthy way to process and cultivate a healthy relationship with your emotions. Now, I know self-care isn't always easy. It's not something that comes naturally in a world that's constantly asking us to be busy, productive, and perfect. But making the choice to care for yourself is an act of embracing your feminine energy and saying that I am worthy of taking care of. I am worthy of embracing my feminine energy. I am in my divine goddess energy. When you show up for yourself, when you pour into yourself, when you are cultivating healthy relationship with your emotions, you are showing up for yourself and you're also showing up for others because you're leading an example. When we embrace our feminine energy, our intuition, our ability to nurture, our emotional depth, we unlock this kind of power that changes and empower the world. We empower other goddesses. We are the leading divine collective. This isn't just about taking a bubble bath or, picking out the girliest outfit. It's about setting those boundaries. It's about tuning into your emotional state of being. It's about listening to your body. It's about processing and releasing. It's about moving, practicing mindful breathing technique. It's about creating space for stillness. It's about indulging in a ritual that nurtures you, whatever that is for you. Like define that for yourself. Define what self-care is for you. There's no right or wrong way of doing it, but just know there's so many ways to take care and nurture yourself. That way you can embrace your feminine energy. So experiment. I want you to experiment over the weekend of embracing your feminine energy through self-care. I want you to try something new that you've never tried before. And I would love for you to come over to our Instagram at Habits of a Goddess and tell me exactly what it is that you are going to be practicing new to channel in your self-care and embracing your feminine energy. I would love to know. So that is your assignment for the weekend, Goddess. I love you. Remember to be kind and gentle with yourself. And until next time, take care of yourself. Your feminine energy is needed in this world. We need more women showing that side. We need more goddesses showing how to take care of yourself in the most divine way and lead with that, because it really does help set example for other goddesses that are looking for ways to practice self-care. So remember to be kind and gentle with yourself. I want to leave you with an affirmation that you can repeat throughout the day. Place your hand over your heart and just take a deep breath and breathe. And repeat this affirmation after me. I embrace my femininity. I embrace my femininity. I embrace my femininity. Goddess, embracing your femininity is an act of self-care. This week, embrace your femininity. And if you've been doing that and you've just enjoyed this extra bonus episode of the week, I want you to share more of that. Show up for other goddesses. Embrace other goddesses. Nurture other goddesses by showing up for yourself. You are radiant. You are the light. You are the magic. You are a goddess. So when you embrace your femininity, other people notice. Other people notice it. It's so contagious. Other people want to be around you because it's a delicious energy. When you are tapping into your highest self, your feminine energy, you're setting those boundaries, you're listening to your intuition, you have a healthy connection with your emotions. You don't suppress, you process and you release. We don't project onto others. We do not project our emotions onto others. We process and we release. When you embrace all of that, every single being within yourself, goddess, you embrace every single thing about yourself as a goddess, you are embracing your feminine energy. So keep on embracing your feminine energy. I love you. Thank you for listening to this episode. If it resonated with you today, leave us a beautiful 5-star review on the Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Also, come over to our Instagram at Habits of a Goddess to connect with our community and comment under our most recent post of your thoughts of the episode. I love interacting with you goddesses, and I appreciate your love and support. Don't forget to share the podcast and tag us at Habits of a Goddess. Have a beautiful day.